resisting life and resisting the moment. Wow. Imagine just getting that out of the way. Where would one land? In the now, here, just as it is, as you are, as oneself is, as the world as it is, not trying to have the world be all different. Everything has to be just so before I say yes to being here. This is the background unconscious program that is going on within most human beings, right? And as we start to wake up to learning about ourselves and wanting to be here more, and what realization and truth really is about, is being here and not being in imagination, lost in imagination, not being lost in distraction, and overlaying beliefs and illusion over this moment and feeling reality, right? That these are all the things that we want to wake up to what we're doing and land in being here. It's not an easy thing. And then we're going to end up facing our resistance. Resistance to what is, resistance to ourselves as we are, resistance to the moment being what it is and the world being what it is. It's an ongoing issue. Which my dog who has a limp doesn't have. She's not resisting. She has a limp, but she's not resisting it. Me, as the one who loves her, would love to have that be different, right? So, okay. So there is this wanting things to be different, right? And then there's just resistance. Wanting things to be different. Let's look at that for a moment. I think that's part of our creative aspect of being a human being is being able to be constructive, and discerning and be able to create difference, to change things in the moment if we want to. But what could make that sticky? What could make that um, turn everything into a problem versus having creative solutions? Would be there's that it's fundamentally there's something wrong and I'm not okay with that. And then there's angst that comes in. And I can't be okay with this moment unless I make this okay. This is what it is. We have a problem in life. We need to fill up our bank account. We have some issues with somebody that we want to clarify, whatever it is, that things that we can actually constructively work on, right? Not there are lots of things that are out of our hands and out of our control, and we'll never be able to affect change on, not fundamentally, maybe large world crises and so on. We do what we can, hopefully, in the moment, but on a larger scale, there's some things we just can't fix. And if you have a terminal illness or whatever, or someone is passing away who you love, there's some things we cannot control and fix, where the doer comes in and says, I've got to make this happen. Right? But other things are in our power to change and to work on and to improve upon, make more beautiful, more healthy, more peaceful, work on our lives and remove distractions and see where we're placing our attention, becoming kinder and gentler and learning how to communicate in a softer, more a way that is people can listen. There's so many things we can do, but without this kind of like, if I don't fix the moment, because it's always going to be something new, something that's not quite right, then I'm not going to be okay. I'm not okay. And that proves how not okay life is. That's proof that I don't feel okay. And then, it kind of ties into this deeper sense of unworthiness inside that will never be fully okay. Because honestly, what we're getting to then is about identity. We're getting down to ground zero where not okay lives. Separation. And then we get to look and see, is it true that there really is one here who is not okay? Does that one really exist? Or is that a story, another story that has been placed over reality, an illusion, a belief? There's so many teachings out there that can help one see through this the I story. But the I story, it merges up and gets sticky with what's wrong with this moment. There's something wrong with me, and there's something wrong with the moment. And it becomes part of the identity. Something's wrong all the time. This deep unsatisfactoriness with life gets projected and lived. And then one is living the dream of being dissatisfied, always in the moment. And it becomes so habituated and so patterned inside that it's like everything is being encountered with this no, this resistance. I don't want it that way. I want it different. It's not, it's like the Goldilocks and three bears. It's too hot, it's too cold. I'm looking for the just right. I'm always looking for the just right so I can finally say yes to this moment. And here we are. Now and then we have little proofs of this yes moment. Oh, it's just right. But then the mind will stir like the wind, stirring the leaves. It'll stir and say, but there's something wrong over here. So then this red herring, it takes one away from the moment. In reality, all the while is just right there, right here, not needing anything to be different than what it is. Things are what they are. Everything comes and goes, is impermanent. Thoughts come and go, feelings and sensations, and one's life. The time comes up that we're no longer going to be here. Everything is coming and going. And that is part of reality. That's the movement, the creation within what is eternal. But eternal reality is infused within this moment, within every moment of your life, of our lives, of our shared existence. Reality is here. With the world the way it is, what human beings are doing to one another, the pain and suffering. Reality is within it, infused. Suffering is real and exists. But of course, we want suffering for anyone and everyone to be alleviated. That's where creativity can really go in versus these kind of moment to moment dissatisfactions where we're not really being able to breathe and say yes to life. I'm here. I'm willing to be here. If all that attention was to what's wrong, was allowed to settle into that which is in that field, that roomy field of beyond right and wrong, there is a field, and I'll meet you there. If our attention was able to rest in that field beyond right and wrong, what is really wrong in anyone's life or in the world with all life forms that may be suffering, then there can be creative, constructive energy that goes towards that to be able to support and do what's possible. and to right what's wrong as much as possible, versus this kind of a suffering individual existence that is unnecessary suffering. That's my point. Unnecessary suffering. That's what we're doing to ourselves, is we're living out unnecessary suffering through the habit of resisting the moment as it is, and resisting reality, and that deep intrinsic dissatisfaction, which is resistance. So, mouthful. It's not an easy journey, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it to come back to true nature, come back to just learning how to be here with what is as it is, the rising, falling of impermanence, realizing that dissatisfaction, just what is, it just is. Wanting it to be different just is. And reality is shining through, and being able to have at least 50% of one's attention be on that, what always is within it all, which is untouched by the rising and falling of everything. It really helps one to be here. Warm wishes, as always.